students, welcome again in this fourth video of biomolecules topic. Already we have studied many points related to carbohydrates as well as introduction of biomolecules. The last part of carbohydrates is polysaccharides. Now these polysaccharides are amorphous. First property, they are water insoluble and last part is they are tasteless. That means polysaccharides are amorphous in nature, they are insoluble in water and they are tasteless. TAST म्हणजे चव नसणारे, tasteless. Now in these polysaccharides they are also called as, these polysaccharides are also called as non-sugars. Non-sugars because they are tasteless, because sugars are crystalline in nature, water soluble and sweet in taste. Exactly opposite parts are here, therefore they are called as non-sugars. Now these polysaccharides are further classified into two parts. First one is a homopolysaccharide, another part is a heteropolysaccharide. Homopolysaccharides means the polysaccharides which on hydrolysis produces the number of same monosaccharide units. They are called as a homopolysaccharides. And another part of the polysaccharide is heteropolysaccharides. Heteropolysaccharides means the carbohydrates which on hydrolysis produces n number of different monosaccharide units. Okay. Now in our syllabus only homopolysaccharides are mentioned. Two homopolysaccharides we have to study. First one is a starch and second one is a cellulose. The starch is obtained from potatoes, rice, etc. Potato is the rich source of starch, and cellulose, it is obtained from the roots of the plants. Starch can be digested in our body because on hydrolysis starch produces alpha D glucopyranose. That means the glucose which can be easily digested in the body. But cellulose, it cannot be digested in our body because it is made up of beta D glucopyranose. That means these two anomers, from these two anomers only alpha D glucose or glucopyranose can be digested in our body. Therefore, as a source of glucose we can use the starch. तुम्हाला माहिती असेल उपवासाच्या दिवशी बटाटे खाल्ले जातात. याचं कारण काय, तर बटाट्यामध्ये स्टार्चचा कंटेंट भरपूर असतो आणि स्टार्चचा एक मोलेक्यूल जर हायड्रोलाइज झाला तर ॲप्रॉक्सिमेटली 80 ग्लुकोजचे मोलेक्युल्स तयार होतात. म्हणजे जर बटाटा खाल्ला असेल तर लवकर पुन्हा भूक लागत नाही. म्हणजे उपवासाच्या दिवशी बटाटा खाण्याचं कारण हेच आहे, त्यामध्ये स्टार्च असतो. ओके, लेट्स कम टू द पॉइंट. Another part is cellulose. Cellulose actually कॉटन जो आहे, या कॉटनचं केमिकल नेम जर म्हटलं तर ते सेल्युलोज आहे. प्लांट सोर्सपासून हा मिळतो आपल्याला सेल्युलोज. ओके, नाउ वी हॅव टू कन्सिडर फर्स्ट पार्ट ॲज अ स्टार्च. वी हॅव टू स्टडी द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ स्टार्च. Already I have mentioned the point that starch on hydrolysis produces alpha D glucopyranose. That means number of alpha D glucopyranose units link together to form the starch. That means starch is a polymer. Even cellulose is also polymer. The word is from this poly. Poly means number of molecules of monosaccharide linked together and they forms these compounds. Now we have to consider the starch first. In starch, two parts are available. First polymer is a long chain polymer, straight chain long chain polymer, another one is a branched chain polymer, or they links to another chain. That two forms are, first one is amylose and another one is amylopectins. We have to study the structure of both amylose and amylopectins from the starch. Now the first part of this starch is amylose. Now this amylose is a linear polymer. That means alpha D glucopyranose, they are linked to each other through C1C4 alpha glycosidic linkage. That means they are arranged in a straight chain, therefore they are linear polymers. Let us study the structure of this amylose. It is made up of alpha D glucose or alpha D glucopyranose. First we have to draw the structure of alpha D glucose. For that purpose you must know the Haworth structure of this alpha D glucose or glucopyranose. This is the 6-membered heterocyclic ring. That means oxygen is the heteroatom and 5 carbons are arranged here. Now the linkage are like this. Already we have discussed about the Haworth structure of glucose, alpha D glucose. Now in alpha form, H is here, OH is down, C2 contains H up, OH down, C3 contains OH up, H down, C4 contains H up, OH down, and finally C5, this one is attached to H and CH2OH, this one is the 6th carbon. Now what happens during formation of amylose, this C1 as well as C4, they link to another units of this alpha D glucopyranose and they forms the long chain structure which is a polymer. Now we have to consider another molecule of this. Let us consider the second molecule of glucose. Again exactly same structure. Same structure. This one is C1, C2, C3, C4, C5 and this one is C6. Now during formation of maltose sugar, we already linked this C1 and C4 by dehydration. That means one hydroxyl and another oxygen, another hydrogen atom. They links to each other by glycosidic linkage like this. That means both the hydroxyl groups are down, therefore the linkage is also down, and such type of linkage is called as a alpha glycosidic linkage. Now this one is a dimer only. Actually this one is the structure of maltose sugar, but maltose sugar, it contains only 2 glucose. In amylose, number of units are here. That means this OH from C4 of this first unit, it is also attached to oxygen and number of same glucose units are arranged over here. Similarly here also one more hydroxyl group utilized like this one, and you will get the polymeric compound like this. Now we can draw the third molecule also. Now this C1 again attached to oxygen, which is further attached to one more molecule of glucose. Now remaining part as it is. Like this one. That means the monomer is alpha D glucopyranose, which on polymerization form this long chain compound. There is no any branch for this chain, only the single unit. This one is a one unit, monomer unit, and they are attached to each other by a straight chain arrangement. Therefore this one is a linear polymer. First part of the starch is amylose. Now another part is amylopectins. In amylopectins, what you have to do, same chain running either in upper part or in lower part, that links to this chain through this C1 C5 linkage. As like sucrose, there is also linkage in between glucose and fructose in vertical manner. Such type of arrangement is here. Okay. Now we have to consider the another part, that is amylopectins also. Okay. Now in case of amylopectin, the same chains are running, they are running simultaneously. Suppose same chain is running in upper part also. What happens? The C1 of this upper chain links to this C6 carbon. This one is the C6 carbon. This one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this one is the C6. Now this C6 is attached to C1 through oxygen. CH2, it is attached to oxygen, and that oxygen is further attached to such type of glycosidic linkage, and that glycosidic linkage is vertical linkage attached to glucose. Now what happens? This glucose ring is here. Oxygen through, it is linked. Now all that glucose units are alpha D forms, therefore H is up, OH is down. Now this OH and this OH combines and dehydration takes place, water molecule is given out, only glycosidic linkage is here. The remaining part as it is. Now this hydrogen is upper part of C4. This one is the C1, C2, C3, C4, C5. Now from the C4, oxygen is linked like this, and another glucose is there. जर तुम्ही ओपन चेन स्ट्रक्चर व्यवस्थित समजावून घेतलं असेल तर एक गोष्ट क्लिअर झाली असेल तुमचे की C3 वरचा OH जो असतो तो लेफ्टला असतो, त्यामुळं C3 1, 2, 3 किंवा इथलं पण बघा 1, 2, 3 तो OH लेफ्टला असल्यामुळं अप्पर पार्टमधील बाकीचे OH डाऊनवर्ड्सच आहे, आणि C6 हा ऑलवेज आपण अप्पर पार्टमध्ये लिहितो. इकडं सुद्धा हा पॉलिमेरिक फॉर्मच असेल, इथं ऑक्सिजन आणि हे इकडं नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स अटॅच असेल. ओके. इथं मात्र ही चेन जी आहे ती एंड झालेली असणार आहे. एंड होत असतानाच ती दुसऱ्या चेनला क्रॉस लिंकिंग करत असेल. तर या पद्धतीने दोन्हीही स्ट्रक्चर्स मी इथं डिस्कस केलेत, एक अमायलोज, दुसरं अमायलोपेक्टिन. आता अमायलोज आणि अमायलोपेक्टिन्स यांचं जर पर्सेंटेज बघितलं आपण तर एक पार्ट आहे अमायलोज आणि दुसरा आहे अमायलोपेक्टिन. तर both these parts they are present in starch, but amylose it is about 15 to 20% in overall starch, while remaining part, that means 80 to 85% part is of amylopectin. Now this amylose is water soluble and amylopectin is water insoluble. That means we can differentiate between amylose and amylopectins. In a starch, about 15 to 20% is amylose, while 80 to 85% is amylopectin. Okay. Amylose is water soluble, while amylopectin is water insoluble. Amylose is a straight chain polymer and amylopectin is a branched chain polymer. Okay. Similarly, these amylose and amylopectins, we have drawn all these structures of amylose and amylopectins. Now both these amylose and amylopectins on hydrolysis produces number of glucose units. If you consider amylose, then it contains approximately 200 to 1000 glucose units in the amylose. Means one polymer of amylose, it is made up of approximately 200 to 1000 glucose units. Okay, and in amylopectins, same amylose, they link to each other by C1C6 glycosidic linkage. All these linkages are glycosidic linkages. Okay, that means polyglycosidic linkage in between alpha D glucose forms the starch. Now the next polysaccharide is cellulose. In cellulose, as like starch, glucose is present, but the beta anomer of glucose is present. Now what is the difference in alpha and beta form beta anomers? That is only the position of hydroxyl group from C1. If you consider one beta D glucose, then its structure will be like this. OH from C1 is in upper part, H is down, H is up, OH down from C2, C3 OH up, H down, C4 OH down, H up, and fifth H down, CH2OH up. This one is the beta D glucopyranose. Now during polymerization, this C1 hydroxyl is in upper plane, C4 is in lower plane. Therefore these glucose molecules link to each other in diagonal shape. That means another glucose molecule is slightly in upper part, that is they link to each other diagonally. See the structure. This one is a C1, it is attached to oxygen. That oxygen is further attached to this glucose like this. You have to practice the structure, you have to practice to draw the structure of both the glucose. All that glucose molecules link through beta glycosidic linkage. Just fulfill the valencies. This one is the second unit. That means C1 links to this C4. Similarly, third unit is attached diagonally like this. Polymeric form. Similarly, the C4 of this first unit, it is also attached to oxygen through polymeric form. Okay, that means these beta D glucoses molecules are arranged diagonally through C1 C4 beta glycosidic linkage. This linkage is called as this one is called as beta glycosidic linkage. This is the structure of cellulose. Now this beta D glucopyranose cannot be digested in our human body, therefore we cannot eat the cellulose. Okay, cellulose is it is again the polymer of beta D glucopyranose. Okay, all these points are related to the carbohydrates. Okay, Thus we have completed the first biomolecule, that is carbohydrate. In the next lecture, what we have to study? The next biomolecule, which is a protein. Actually only 3 biomolecules are in detail. First one is a carbohydrates, second one is a protein, and third one is a nucleic acid. Okay, and remaining part, small points of hormones, enzymes, etc. is also there. Thus we have completed the biomolecule first part, carbohydrates. Thank you.